For 15 years, I believed my marriage was built on something unshakable, the kind of love that could survive anything. We had 2 kids, a comfortable home, and a bond one thought time had only made stronger. I was wrong. Sometimes, the end doesn't come as a crash. It comes quietly, piece by piece, until one day you realize the life you built has already fallen apart. It started when Emily told me she needed space, a week-long vacation with her friends to unwind. She said she'd been overwhelmed by work and family responsibilities. I understood. I even helped her pack, kissed her goodbye, and promised to take care of everything while she was gone. But a few days into her trip, things began to feel off. Our calls grew shorter. Her texts turned distant. She sounded distracted every time we talked. One night, when I called, I heard laughter, deep, masculine laughter, in the background. She quickly ended the call, saying it was just a waiter. That moment stuck with me like a thorn I couldn't pull out. I told myself I was overthinking it, but the unease wouldn't fade. By the 5th day, I couldn't take it anymore. I booked a flight. My plan was simple. Surprise her, show up with flowers, remind her of what we had. I told no one, wanting the moment to feel spontaneous and romantic. I pictured her face lighting up when she saw me. I had no idea I was walking straight into the truth that would shatter me. When I arrived at the resort, everything looked beautiful. The sea breeze, the palm trees, the sound of laughter. I checked into the hotel quietly and asked the front desk if Emily Johnson was staying there. The receptionist confirmed her room number with a polite smile. My hands trembled as I carried a bouquet of white lilies, her favorite, to her door. I knocked. There was a pause. Then the door opened slightly. She was standing there, but she wasn't alone. Behind her stood a man, shirtless, with a towel around his waist. Time froze. Emily's face went pale. The man glanced at me, then vanished into the bathroom. I just stood there, holding the flowers, feeling everything inside me collapse. I stepped inside. The room smelled of perfume, and something worse, betrayal. 2 wine glasses sat on the nightstand, one smeared with lipstick. Her suitcase lay half open on the floor. "Who is he?" I asked quietly. She started crying, saying it wasn't what it looked like, but we both knew what it was. After a few minutes, she broke down completely and confessed. It had started months ago. A co-worker she'd grown close to, someone she claimed understood her when I was too busy working. It turned physical. She said she'd been lonely, neglected, and lost. I wanted to shout, to tell her that I had been there, trying my best to keep our life together. But I couldn't speak. The pain was too heavy. I left the room without another word. The flowers ended up in a trash bin on my way out. I spent the night walking along the beach, staring at the waves crashing in endless rhythm, a cruel reminder that life goes on, no matter how broken you feel. She came home 2 days later, sobbing, apologizing, begging for another chance. She said it was a mistake, that she ended it, that she still loved me. I didn't know what to believe. Hate would have been easier, but love complicates everything. Against my better judgment, I agreed to therapy. The months that followed were brutal. Every look, every word, every touch carried the shadow of that night. But slowly, she began to change. The lies stopped. She started showing up, really showing up. I saw genuine remorse in her eyes. And somewhere in the mess of it all, I found something like forgiveness. Not for her, but for me. Holding on to the anger was like bleeding from a wound I refused to close. So I let it heal, not by forgetting, but by choosing peace over pain. It took nearly a year, but we rebuilt. Not what we had before, but something new, more fragile yet more honest. Our kids never knew the truth, and maybe that's the best. Now, when I think back to that day at the hotel, I don't just see betrayal. I see the moment everything changed, not just between us, but within me. Love isn't flawless or fair. It's painful, complicated, and full of choices that test your strength. But it's also the one thing that can survive even after it's been broken beyond recognition. I'll never forget what I saw when that door opened, but I'll also never forget what came after. The hard, messy truth that sometimes life destroys you first so it can rebuild you stronger.